and welcome back to my channel. If we haven't even met before, my name is Shiv. Hello, if you're coming back then welcome. In today's video I am filming a look with the Revolution Pro Smoke and Mirrors palette, as you can tell from the title, thumbnail and probably this makeup look actually, to be honest. So I created a look using this palette. This is what it looks like. Super pretty, loads of like bluey tones there. It's sort of like a random goldy kind of shade, which I didn't use, but actually the more and more I look at it, the more I wish I had used it because it is beautiful. I feel like I want to do another look using this palette soon with like this colour and then maybe like a silver or something. I don't know. Let me know in the description box below if you do want me to do another look using this palette, because I definitely will get around to it at some point if you want to see that. I will be doing a blog post combined with the Truth or Dare palette and the Smoke and Mirrors palettes combined in a blog post, so definitely go ahead and check that out in the description box below. If you fancy a little bit of a read, that kind of thing, if that's more your kind of vibe, my blog is in the description box below. I'm trying to blog a little bit more this year. I absolutely love the way this makeup look turned out, so if you would like to see how I created this look and my thoughts on the palette, you can see how it performs and everything like that, then please carry on watching. Before you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It means the absolute world, and let's just carry on with the video. Wow, that was a weird sound. That's better. So it's much later in the day compared to my last video. I filmed my last video at like 9 in the morning. Now it is 5 PM, so moving pretty slowly today. I'm going to blame it on the retrograde. It is the 17th of February, I believe it started today. But yeah, let's just dive straight into the palette. So I have already done my brows using my Bella Pierre brow pencil in the shade Chestnut. And then I popped on the P. Louise base all across my eyes in Rumour number 2. I'm just going to pat out any creases or anything like that. It feels super dry already. And then I've popped on a piece of tape on the outer corner because I want this look to be quite sharp, because I'm going to use a lot of colours, so I feel like if I do a nice sharp edge it will make the look neat. So I'm going to start off with a black. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Now that is going to be super scary to a lot of people, but I feel like I just want to use a lot of colours in the palette. And by the looks of things, there are only 2 complete mattes in this palette. You have a black and then like a really unique blue shade, which is like a muted blue. It's really unique. Same as this colour here. Super unique. I definitely want to use that. I want to use pretty much all of the palette, bar maybe this. Not really keen on using this one, but I want to use the rest of it, especially this gorgeous sparkly blue, this colour here, which is really unique, and then these mattes. So I'm going to start off with the black shade, and I'm going to pop that on the outer corner to start off with. I'm taking it on a Sigma E25 taper blending brush. The shade is called Smoked, so I'm going to go ahead and just dip straight into the shadow, tap off the excess. Okay, you're not left with much after tapping off the excess, so I'm going to be light with that, and then here we go. So I'm just going to literally start packing that on the outer corner of the eye, right up to that tape. If, for example, the tape lifts and we've got a little bit of like a jagged line, then it's fine. I'll clean it up later. But it's more just as a barrier for now. So I'm just packing that into the kind of crease area, making sure the main part of the colour is on the outer corner as much as physically possible. And then we can kind of start to diffuse the shadow a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit more. So far so good. This black is definitely very good. It's not the darkest black I've used, but it is definitely packing a punch there for sure. Going in with teeny little motions, building up as I go. I'm not going like back and forth like crazy. I'm almost doing like little scratching motions to try and like blend this out as much as you can by just using a black shadow by itself. I used to use black shadows all the time. Like, even when I was younger and I really got into makeup, I would always use a black, and now I'm like barely touch them. Blending that through the crease, just keep going back and forth in little scratching motions. A really good tip as well is if you're kind of struggling to create the shape, just tilt your head back and you can see the bits that you've missed. So for example, I can see just here I could use a little bit more black shadow. I'm just going to pack that down. Sorry if I blocked the camera with the palette. Keep on packing that in and then look forward and see the shape that you're creating. Okay, that's definitely enough shadow on there for now. So very impressed with that black to start off with. Just gonna keep on blending. I'm not adding any extra product to my brush for now. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that so far. Can always go back and add more if needed later on. Then I'm going to switch to a ZOEVA 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush, and I am going to take the navy blue, which is, if I can show you, this one right here, which is called Stunner. So I'm going to take that one right here. It looks like it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but nothing crazy at all. But I am going to pop that in the inner section of this kind of crease and then blend it into the black. So I'm just going to go straight into the shadow, and then I'm just going to start by kind of packing that into the crease. I'm completely winging this, by the way. I've never really planned out my looks completely. I'll have like a rough idea in mind of like what shades and stuff I want to use, but I have no idea what this is going to look like. So I'm just touching up with that black shade right there, just kind of diffusing over the middle of it, and then just like before, I'm going to keep doing little scratching side to side motions to blend out what we can for now, and then if I want to, I'll go in and add a little bit more product just where I feel like it needs it. That actually looks really cool. I kind of remind myself of like a shark for some reason. Maybe I'm going for sharky vibes. Bringing that over into that black shade. Okay, I feel like I'm going to add a little bit more black just to kind of intensify this side a little bit just compared to the inner corner. Again, just start scratching that out. Then I'm going to take a Morphe M562. It's a really skinny blending brush, and I am going to take the shade Maze, which is this really unique muted blue shade, and I'm going to use that on top of the kind of black line very gently to blend this out a little bit. This one has noticeably more fallout than the other shades, but that's not something that bothers me, and we're doing our eyes first. This is definitely a process of a look. It's gonna take some time, but we will prevail. I'm actually really liking this so far. Just gonna go back in with that dark blue a little bit just to re-intensify. I'm just going to take a brush from La Boîte Soleil. This is from their Barbie Pink brush set, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone using the shade Honor, which is this shimmery pearlescent colour with a little bit of blue in it. I'm going to pop that on my brow bone, just basically in the area that we don't have any shadow. It's gone in my brows a little bit, but that is fine because we can do brow gel later. Okay, and now going back to that brush and a little bit of that muted blue colour, I'm just going to blend over the top of this just through that highlight shade. Okay, I'm really liking this so far. There's so many different kind of shade options for the lid. I definitely need to jump into this shimmery blue colour, which actually in some lights looks a little bit purple, so I'm very excited for that. I do want to use this really unique sparkly shimmery blue, maybe that on the inner corner. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop that on the inner corner, then I'm going to pop this one here, if you can see that, just on the inner kind of section, and then when it meets the black I'll pop the sparkly blue. So I want to pop a kind of sticky base down to the lid just to kind of make everything really intense. This is the Revlon Colour Stay Cream Eyeshadow Bold in the shade Peacock, and I'm going to take some of that on a flat brush. This is a Morphe M224 brush. I'm just going to pat some of that across the lid, basically where you would cut the crease. I'm just going to use this blue base to do so. Pulling it up through the crease. I feel like I want to blend this little inner corner. Oh, I've got eyeshadow on my knuckle. I feel like I want to blend out the inner corner crease a little bit. So I'm just taking my brush that had the muted blue just to diffuse this a little bit. I've just spritzed my MAC 239 brush a little bit of setting spray, and I'm going to take this shade right here, this really unique pearly light blue kind of colour, which is called Illusion. I'm going to pack that on the inner half of the lid, so basically where that dark blue meets the black in the middle. I'm kind of excited to see how this looks. That is beautiful. So stunning. That is a really, really beautiful shade. And then I'm taking a BH Cosmetics number 7 brush. Just spritz it with a little bit of setting spray. And then I'm going to go into that beautiful shimmery purple, which is called Virtue, which is this one right here. And I'm going to pack that on the outer half of the lid. I'm super excited for this one, actually. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Bringing that over to the middle shade so they kind of blend together. I'm just going to take a separate kind of pencil brush and go into the black shade. I'm using a different brush because I'm going to be doing this eye off camera. I don't want to get glitter all in it. So I'm just going to take this brush right here with some black on it, tap off the excess, and then just kind of tap that on the outer kind of section of the lid, kind of almost making a wing shape. Pulling that down and then just kind of like diffusing the edges. Now I'm going to pop a glitter through the crease just because I love doing this. This is the SPANDEX Urban Decay Heavy Metals Glitter Liner. I'm just going to put it straight through the crease line and then kind of fade it as we get to the outer half of the cut crease line. I'm just loading up my brush with the glitter. I'm now just going to fan that dry. Okay, let's peel off this tape. Comes out a little bit funny here, but it's fine. Once we've done the lower lash line and fixed it and stuff, it will be fine. It just creates a nice little like border for the shadow. So now let's do the lower lash line. I'm going to take the 1-2 Superstay liner in the shade Metallic Turquoise and pop this through the waterline. Then I'm going to go back into my cream base and just the tip of the Morphe 224, and I'm just going to run this underneath the lower lash line, starting with the outer corner, just as a nice base for the shadow, so it's really intense. I want it to be super smoky. Then I'm going to pack that shimmery shade on the inner half of the lower lash line, that really unique like pale blue kind of colour, right up to the tear duct area. I love this look. Then I'm going to take the shimmery kind of bluey sparkly colour and pack that on the outer half of the lower lash line. Yes, just everything, yes. I'm so happy with this look. Okay, I'm gonna skip liner because I want the main focus to be the shadow. So I'm gonna curl my lashes just to give them a nice little lift. These are the Superdrug Rose Gold eyelash colours, but any eyelash colours will do. I need to get some new ones actually. And that is why we do eyes first. So now I'm going to pop on some mascara. I'm taking the Revolution Blowout Mascara. I actually really like this mascara and it's my Revolution theme. I've tried to use less Revolution products like in this video, but still a lot of Revolution products, I'm very sorry. So I'm going to pop this on my lashes, just in prep for the falsies, starting from the root and then wiggling upwards. Okay, for lashes, I'm actually running out of lashes at the moment, so they are used, but I'm going to take the EYELURE Volume 101 lashes. These are quite short and just add some volume, hence the name. So I'm going to go ahead, pop these on, do the other eye, then we're going to move on to the face, so I'll be right back. We are back with lashes on, the other eye is on. Absolutely loving this look so far. I'm just going to go through the face fairly quickly and just show you what products I use, because it's all about the eyes with this makeup tutorial and kind of review video. So the first product I'm going to take is the Primark Primer Water. I'm just going to spritz this all over the skin for a nice base. This just also helps to refresh the skin. Next up for foundation, I'm taking the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. This is in the shade 3. I absolutely love this foundation for a very, very full coverage, and of course I'm going to be popping it on with my, there's a hair on it, my Spicy Choco Tear Blend sponge. I'm just going to be dabbing this all over the face for a nice flawless finish. Bye spots, may they live another day, or may they not live another day. For cream contour, I'm actually going to take a really old product. This is the Primark My Perfect Colour Stick in the shade Caramel, which looks really gross. It was 90p. I'm going to use this to cream contour under my cheekbones, tops of the forehead, down the sides of the nose, under the lip for a pouty look, and then under the jaw as well. It just helps to sculpt everything out. And then I'm going to blend it out using my ZOEVA 110 face shape brush. Just some little circular motions. Then for concealer, I'm going to be taking the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C4. Love this concealer. They do have a supersize version as well, so it's better value for money. I think it's like £7. It's like so much bigger. They've just come out with a new one. I haven't tried that. Let me know if you have tried it. It's like the Conceal and Infinite concealer or something like that, but I do really want to try it because I love this concealer. So I'm going to pop it on my chin. I've got some brown counts going on right now. My skin was super stressed, plus time of the month, so it's all kind of erupted, but it's all going down now, so hopefully it will get better soon. I'm always going to have spots on my chin, let's be honest. Anyway, so I'm going to pop some on my forehead to start, under the eyes, chin, down the nose. And then, of course, blending it out with my Spicy Choco sponge. Then I'm going to use a product which I keep forgetting to use. It's on my little makeup shelf. This is the Revolution Pro Blush and Blush and Lift Highly Pigmented Buildable Liquid Blush that provides an instant lift. This is in the shade Peaches. So I'm going to pop some on my cheeks and just blend it out with my finger. I've been wanting to use this for a while, but it just keeps going missing and I'm forgetting about it. So I figured I would use it in this look. So I'm just going to go ahead and dab some on my little cheekbones and just blend it out with my fingers. I have a feeling that's way too much. Then I'm going to use my ring fingers to blend this out. If it goes a bit too much, I'll get my beauty blender and dab over the top. Do you know what? I actually really like that. I feel like I've put a little bit too much on this cheek, but we'll definitely be using that again for sure. For powder, I'm going to be taking a little bit of the Revolution Pro Hydra Matte Translucent Setting Powder. I'm going to be using a little bit of this just because my foundation is so like intense and matte. Just a little bit kind of in the centre of my forehead, chin, nose, my main oily areas, and I'll kind of dust it around the rest of my face. For bronzer, I'm going to be taking the Revolution Mega Bronzer in the shade 02 Warm. Just bronzing up my face as per usual in like a 3 shape. So top of the forehead, cheeks, under the chin, a little bit on the neck, and then I just dust it across my nose just because I like the way it looks. And then for my blush, I'm going to be taking the Revolution Blusher Reloaded. This is in the shade Rhubarb and Custard. I'm just going to tap it on top of the liquid blush. To be honest, this actually just kind of show through, but I've put a little bit on top because why not? Then we're going to set the face using the Revolution Calming Makeup Fixing Spray. For my highlight, I'm actually going to take this TECHNIC Colour Fix Highlighter Palette, and I am going to take, if I can find it, I'm going to take this shade right here, this like yellowy one, if you can kind of see that. I just found this in my drawer and I decided to pick it out, and I'm going to pop it on with a little fluffy brush. This one is from Show, but the Morphe brush is just the same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the highlight the top points of my face, so tops of my cheekbones, above the brow, tip of the nose, down the nose, above the lip. Yeah, let's get that glow. So So I'm just going back to the Smoke and Mirrors palette now, and I'm going to go ahead and take this kind of aqua turquoise colour just because I think it's really pretty. And I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. This could completely ruin or make the look, we will see. So I'm going to go ahead and just spritz this little brush that I used for the brow bone highlight earlier. I've just kind of wiped it off on my leggings. And I'm going to spray it with a little bit of primer water just to kind of pick up the pigment a little bit more. So we're just going to go into the aqua blue. I keep accidentally wanting to go into the other shade, but I feel like this will, I don't know, just do something. Hopefully this looks good. Okay, yes, good. That is a seriously stunning shade. Then the finishing steps, I'm going to pop some mascara on my lower lashes. Now I'm going to pop some brow gel through the brows just to kind of get rid of any like powder that's gone in them. This is the Revolution Pro Volume and Sculpt Brow Gel in the shade Clear. Onto the lips, I'm going to line them with MAC Spice lip liner. And then for my lippy, I'm going to take a lip gloss. This is the Revolution Pout Bomb lip gloss in the shade Kiss. I actually love this. I tried this out not too long ago in a full face of Revolution first impressions, that's what I meant. And it was really good. I really like this lip gloss, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that on. I'm just going to use a little lip brush just to blend out the lip liner and the gloss together. And this is the finished makeup look. I love the way it turned out. I feel like my hairstyle really goes with the makeup look actually, like very like mermaidy kind of vibes. Really like the way this turned out. I feel like out of the two palettes, because I have reviewed the Smoke and Mirrors and the Truth or Dare palette, and I definitely feel like this one is my absolute favourite out of the two. I just feel like it performed beautifully. Not that this one was bad, but I feel like in comparison I just love the way that this palette looked. If you do want to see my review and tutorial on this palette, then check out my previous video, and it will also be linked in the description box below, as well as loads of other like Revolution palette reviews because I tend to do them quite a lot. You guys seem to really like them and I love doing them as well. I love playing with new eyeshadow palettes and everything like that, so definitely go ahead and check that out. So yeah, thoughts on the palette, absolutely love it. I feel like this is definitely a really good like palette to have in your collection. It could be a really good gift for a makeup lover. I feel like some of the shades are really unique, especially this like shimmery like icy blue kind of colour with this turquoise. Like it's a really unique palette, and although I didn't want to use this in this look, I feel like this is a really pretty shade. It's like almost like a flare, that's how I would describe it. It's like an orangey colour with a little bit of pink in it. Really pretty. So yeah, I highly recommend this palette. It retails for £12. I'll have everything linked below. I'm going to be doing blog posts on the Smoke and Mirrors palette and the Truth or Dare palette, so go ahead and check out my blog post on those. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It means the absolute world. If you are already subscribed, thank you. Make sure you're clicking the notification bell to be alerted of my new videos. I've been checking my analytics recently and I can see a lot of my views are coming from not subscribed channels. So if you are a frequent watcher of mine and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It means the world. That way I know that you're there. And I shall see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!